out of Africa with lots of good vibes and a variety of roots. I am Y311H. Welcome on today's show, Good Vibes Earthling. It's a pleasure to have you today. Let me put you up to speed with what we shall be doing. Interesting soul. Today we have a compilation of Good Vibes videos from across the whole world, which, my friend, we shall be going through them together to understand how different humans like yourself live in different places of the world, believe, and act. And through these videos, my friend, we shall be showcasing or spreading the important message of love, honesty, peace, and good vibes to the whole world. Hit the subscribe button and join us on our mission kindly. Another thing interesting, so because we here really acknowledge our creator, we start our show by talking to them, the creator, and giving thanks to that creator, my friend, in every day's show. And also, we read from some good vibes book, the book of wisdom or the guide of life, the manual of living in this world, my friend. And today, this is what it says about the road. Huh? Clap your hands, all you nations. Shout to God with cries of joy. How awesome is the Lord Most High, the great King over all the earth. Wonderful. Psalm 47, 1 and 2. How great is the Lord indeed, wonderful souls. Let's clap with joy and give thanks to this Creator. Wonderful Father, we come before you today, dear Lord, with your child here, today's viewer. Dear Lord Father, I thank you for their lives, dear Lord. I thank you for the blessings that you have put in store for them, dear Lord, and that they shall receive before we reach the end of this video. Dear Lord Father, this viewer, may you forgive them all their sins, dear Lord, and wash them, Father. Dear Lord Father, guide us through to reacting to this video together with this child of yours, Father. Help us, Father, to spread love, peace, and honesty to the whole world together, Father. And as we do so, impact our lives with your good vibes, Father. Be with us till the end, and we shall be thankful. In your holy name, King of Kings, we do pray, trusting and believing. Amen. Let's dive in good vibes. So,
Breaking news, we just heard that the U.S. nuclear submarine fleet is being shadowed by UAPs, aka UFOs. That's what reportedly former U.S. Navy Admiral Kim Gallaudet will be testifying about on Wednesday at the House of Representatives Oversight Committee.
After upgrades were made to our jet's radar systems, we began detecting unknown objects operating in our airspace. At first, we assumed they were radar errors, but soon we began to correlate the radar tracks with multiple onboard sensors, including infrared systems, eventually through visual ID. During a training mission in Warning Area Whiskey 72, 10 miles off the coast of Virginia Beach, two F-18 Super Hornets were split by a UAP. The object, described as a dark gray or a black cube inside of a clear sphere, came within 50 feet of the lead aircraft and was estimated to be 5 to 15 feet in diameter. The mission commander terminated the flight immediately and returned to base.
In previous hearings, we've seen former U.S. Navy and Air Force pilots testifying about UAPs, but what does a former U.S. Navy admiral has to say about the UAP phenomenon? Reports indicate that parts of the former U.S. Navy admiral's testimony would be about underwater UAPs shadowing the U.S. nuclear submarine fleet.
They hook the diver up on the winch and they're lowering him in, and as he's looking down, he sees this big, massive, he goes, it's not a submarine. He's seen submarines before. Once you see a submarine, you can't confuse it with something else. This big object, kind of circular, he says, is coming up from the depths, and he starts screaming through the intercom system to tell him to pull the diver up, and the diver's like a few feet from the water. So they reverse the winch, and the diver's thinking, what the hell's going on? And he's getting pulled up, and all of a sudden, he said the torpedo just got sucked down underwater, and the object just descended back down into the depths, and they never recovered the torpedo.
Jesus.
And this happened in the late 90s.
Also among people who will be testifying on Wednesday, a former NASA administrator, Mr. Michael Gold. So far, NASA has kept it very low-key on the UAP debate, but depending on what Mr. Gold will be revealing tomorrow at the testimony, the agency might be forced to release any kind of evidence and document they have on UAP sightings.
The truth is that when you really understand that changing the present changes the past, then it's not even an issue of, let's say you had an addiction to whatever, cigarettes, and you really change your present sufficiently enough that the addiction is not there anymore. You don't have the urge anymore to smoke. It's not that you have learned how to let go of the addiction.
Right.
The new person you are that has no urge never had an addiction.
Never had it.
The past of a person who doesn't have an addiction
doesn't have that pattern in its past.
It doesn't have that pattern.
So it's not just a perception. You're saying that we actually change reality itself rather than our perception of reality.
Yes, because our perception of reality is what reality is.
Okay, that's what I was trying to say.
Because physical reality isn't real.
Right. It's our perception.
It's happening within our consciousness. This, as solid as it feels, is happening within our consciousness.
Yeah.
Now, I think a lot of leading edge quantum physicists are beginning to get this idea. I know that a lot of them balk at the concept of mixing metaphysical ideas with physics, but whether they like it or not, I believe that's where it's going. And they're going to start understanding that they can actually have a sufficient explanation of metaphysical concepts that satisfies their understanding of physics when they just simply turn the corner a little bit and allow for consciousness to be involved in their equations instead of trying to extricate it. Because this is all happening within our consciousness, no matter how solid it seems.
Huh? My God. What's this place? Yo, look at this cat. Yo, if you light up a cat on the head, their eyes look like this. Is that normal? Aye. Huh, this cat was just out there chilling. What's up? Are these dinosaurs or aye? No. This tree decided to do that thing that people do in they do when it's being seen. How is this possible? What's up with the tree? Maybe it has seen a lot. Yo, is almost flooding the area. Huh? What's this? Look at this person's reflection. Aye, or this is not a reflection. This is quite very, very odd. In other places, now this one is on the skies. Oh my God, guy, is that an eye? Someone is peeping through the skies. Eye, and another face here.
Hear me out when I say this. There's no aliens in the water. There's no aliens in the ocean. I used to think it was a mistake that they were mislabeling these things that they're seeing. I used to think maybe it was a mistake. Maybe they just don't understand. No, I think now they're just playing in our faces. It's literal demons, okay? All of this is a spiritual thing. Have you guys ever heard of the Marine Kingdom? Yes, the Marine Kingdom. Do your research on the Marine Kingdom. I don't have enough time here to explain to you what the Marine Kingdom is. Just do your own research. Let's also think back to remember when there was a demon-possessed man, and remember the disciples couldn't cast out this demon. This is in the Gospels. The disciples could not cast out this demon, and so they went to Jesus and they said, hey, we cannot cast out this demon, whatever the case may be. Jesus comes to the land, and he sees the demon-possessed man. He says, oh, you can't cast out this demon because this demon can only be casted out by prayer and fasting. And so he asked the demon his name. The demons said Legion. His name was Legion, for we are many. It was many demons living inside of him. So when Jesus went to cast out these demons from the man, they begged him to be cast into something. They didn't want to be just disembodied spirits running around. They wanted to be cast into something. He casted them into the pigs. The pigs go and jump in the waters. Obviously, the pigs die, right? So the disembodied spirits roam the waters. Listen to me. If you go outside and you see a creature outside that resembles an animal, let's say it has a cat face, it has bear paws, it has a fox tail, you're going to still label that thing as an animal. You're not going to just switch up you're not going to switch up the entire thing to label it something else. You will only label something that has characteristics of something else. that thing in that habitat, right? So if I go outside and I see a human that has the face of a dog and the belly of a fish, but like it appears to be a human, I'm not going to label that as an animal. I'm not going to even label it as a human. I might label it as something else. Why? Because it has other characteristics. Why wouldn't they just label these things as sea creatures that they haven't discovered? Think about it. Think about it, because these things have different characteristics that they don't see in any other sea creatures. Okay? I'm telling y'all, the waters, the reason why they haven't explored, I won't even get into all that. Read the book of Job. The reason why they haven't even explored all of the waters is because there's a limit on how far they can go. As above, so below.
Oh, what the fuck is that? Nah. Y'all see that though, right? I know I ain't tripping, bro. Bro, what the fuck is that? Nah, bro. Nah. Then they flying in for a But what is that? Bruh. What is... Planes don't fly that close, bro. Then they like moving. Nah, bro. Nah. Nah.
¿Qué cosa? Se mueve. ¿Qué cosa? Pero ve la luz. Está flotando. Fuerte y baja. ¿Pero está flotando? ¿Qué es eso? Nunca había visto esto así. No, yo tampoco. Es que la luz se mueve. No. Pero los platos no se mueven, mira. Exacto, ¿ya mira? Y la luz está más fuerte. No. Yo me voy porque a mí me da miedo esto. No le encuentro forma, parece un círculo, parece... Está bajando. Ya está bajando. Ahí viene. Ya está bajando. No. Está cambiando de color.
Much better.
Yo, what's this? Alien technology without explanation. Is this what? A ring or some piece of metal? This is crazy stuff. What's this? Does this thing have a skin or what's up? Yo, this is crazy. Which material is used here? Oh man. Where did these guys get this thing? What is this? Aye. Oh, these are crystals or what's up? Huh? This is weird. Now, how are they used? You see? How are they used? For decoration or... yo. Ha! This is crazy. Huh. And in other places, now this is on the rocks. Oh, what? Aye. What's weird here? Is this rock or the area? Or this stone is out of this world? Okay. Crazy stuff, my friends. Mysterious stuff.
all of these UFO videos have me thinking, because the government said that they were in the ocean, right? And now all of a sudden they're being spotted everywhere. You guys, I have a terrifying thought. What if they're leaving? What if they're not coming? What if they're leaving? What if they're leaving? And if they're leaving, why? Why?
That, no, that legit looks
Wouldn't you see
like...
it coming up from the bottom? Like,
No way.
For those of you who fell asleep in history class when you were in grade 8, did you know that America has only been around since 1776? And why is that significant? Here's what they're not telling you. And did you know that Russia has traces going back 3,000 years? Here again. And China has its existence dating back over 4,000 years. That's documented, by the way. That's just shit they wrote down. But why is that significant? The significance comes from the fact that China and Russia have learned over those years to collaborate with people. You see, they're not the ones going out and causing wars. They're not offensive. They're defensive. So if you do something to them, they're going to defend, but they're not offensive. On the other hand, America is offensive. They go and they burn other people's houses down, and they wonder why other people try to defend themselves. And now America's got a great Navy. Yeah, that's all they got. But guess what China's got? Semiconductors. Guess what Russia's got? Energy. Guess what Russia also has? Patience. Russia and China both exercise a great amount of patience. And this comes back from having a long history, right? But America, temper tantrum America, doesn't have patience, and they want everything right now. And this is why 78% of people in North America live paycheck to paycheck, right? Because we're not patient, and because of that, we suffer greatly. There you have it.
Trust me, watch this.
In Glen Rose, Texas, they've got a river running through town called the Paluxy River. Back in 1908, the river flooded, ripped off a 2-foot layer of limestone and moved it 20 miles downstream. Underneath was another layer of limestone, so it's no big deal. But that layer underneath had contained hundreds of dinosaur footprints. Roland Bird was in charge of the group of guys digging out the tracks, and he reported there were 15 to 20 inch long, clearly defined human footprints with the dinosaur tracks. One of the best human tracks still had the dermal ridges, like the fingerprints on the toes. You could see them, they were extremely clear for the first few months. We sell castings of one of the human tracks. It's a size 24. The man's stride between steps was about 6 or 7 feet. I would rip my britches every time trying to do that. They sawed one of the tracks across the toes. Looking at it endways, you could see there were depressions where the toes had squeezed the mud down, distorting the lamination lines. These are not carved in, they're not erosion marks, they're compression prints. Quite obviously. This guy said, finding dinosaur and human footprints together would counter evidence that humans evolved long after dinosaurs. I agree. And would back up the claim that all species, including man, were created at one time. I agree. It sure would back up that claim. They don't want that claim.
If you like Christian content, follow or subscribe to see much more.
What the hell? Did someone in the unit get a new dog? It's the middle of the night. Finally. Did someone in the unit get a new dog? Dog. Hell. What the hell? What? That's my voice. The hell? That's my voice.
My God. Wow. What is the useful? What was the usefulness of this in the 18th century technology? Look at this. Yo, well, how did they carve this thing like this? If this is from the 18th century, well, this is crazy. Look at how this thing looks great. Oh, this is magnificent. Man, what could this have been? Some ring of some kind or don't know. You, my friends, check this out and leave your comments. But this is quite crazy, fascinating, unbelievable. Look at the science there, drawn or carved in that thing. Yo, what is this? Hey, this is crazy stuff. People from the past had lots of weird things going on around. Yeah? But what do you think? This was some way of passing information or who knows? Anyway, look at this. The moon destroys sin. How is this possible? Huh? Aye. Are you seeing what looks like a fragment of the moon behind the moon? Or what's up? This is crazy stuff. What has been going on in the skies lately? Yo, even the moon is now behaving
What
weird.
really blows my mind about mushrooms rot wood. They do. How is it that mushroom can take wood, which is lignin and cellulose, carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen? Carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen came from the air. So you've got this carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen, the lignin and cellulose, that a mushroom now turns this carbohydrate into a protein. It uses some of the double carbon bonds in there, breaks it apart, that's the energy to run itself. Then it takes the other stuff and it tinker toys it back together, adds a little sulfur and a little nitrogen to it, and now it's a protein. That is an absolute miracle that we can turn wood into meat. That's just amazing.
I am having the craziest fucking experience right now. So I'm in the country at my other property, okay? That's so fucking weird. I know I'm not tripping, dude. It literally sounds like voices coming from underneath the ground. I got fucking goosebumps right now. This shit's tripping me out. But I keep feeling a giant, vibration underneath the ground. And a couple of people that are miles away from me are experiencing the same exact thing. Now, I live in the South. I don't want to really address where I live specifically. But I got up close to the ground, and you could literally just hear voices underneath the ground. I don't really know how else to explain that. I'm trying to convince myself that I just heard something echoing through the woods, but then it just started getting closer and closer. And I know how frequencies work, but this sounded like a chant. Like, I know it sounds fucking weird, okay? But then the ground just started shaking like fucking crazy. It sounded like helicopters going overhead, but below you. And I've never had an experience of an earthquake before, okay? But I would imagine that an earthquake does not sound like that. I was gonna stay in the car because that shit was tripping me the fuck out. But literally, you can hear it right now. It's like the ground is shaking. And it's just like a rumbling. It feels like it's like a mile underneath me, and you can hear it. Dude, this shit is really tripping me out right now. It's like a... It's fucking weird. And then it just stopped. Do you hear that? Dude, it literally stopped. What is fucking happening right now? Oh, there it goes again. Bro, this shit's weird as fuck. What the fuck?
So have you had any experience in Hollow Earth yourself?
Of course.
Okay, what is that like? Just to give you an example, one of the reasons why I didn't believe this is because I couldn't grasp the physics of it. But as I started studying it, it started making more sense that it's the crust of the Earth that creates gravity. So the people on the outside of the planet experience the gravity down to the center of the crust, and the people on the inside of the planet experience the gravity from the inside of the crust to the center. So then I realized that they're standing upright all the way around the center of the Earth, the way we're standing upright all the way around the surface of the planet. So it started making more sense. So what was it like for you to be there? And why did you come back?
Well, like I said, I came back because I had to, but believe me, I didn't want to. I wanted to stay there. But also, you have to understand that the hollow Earth is fifth dimensional. You can go there physically, but your body will be changed when you enter. It changes from, in Admiral Byrd's case, it changed from the third to the fifth dimension as his aircraft entered into the North Polar opening. When you go into the North Polar opening, halfway around the North Polar opening, everything changes. Your density lightens. Your body begins to feel tingly, and like a tingling sensation. And then as you continue going around into the hollow Earth, your body changes. You will discover that when you do this, that your body begins to feel, how do you put it, exhilarated, energized. Wow. It's hard to explain, but when you go inside, your body changes from the third dimension into a fifth dimensional body, which is much lighter than what you have on the surface. When they brought me and my sister to the surface, our body had to basically phase down to the third dimension in order to remain up here. And it's the same if you went inside. You couldn't remain in the fifth dimensional existence unless your body was permanently changed.
What is this? The kids just pointed it out. We're in Surprise, Arizona. And this thing has been flying around like this.
What is that?
It's gone.
Wait, no,
Oh, it just shot real fast.
Dude, what was that?
I have no...
Alright, here comes another one. This is very, very weird, but they're not car-sized. They're just weird. See, I feel like you can get a better judge of the size of it. The media said they're car-sized. They're not. They're just weird. They're going over and over. There's tons of them. And they're just going over the same areas again and again. It definitely looks like mapping. But no, it's definitely not car-sized. They're so weird looking though. They're much bigger than normal drones, I'll say that. Like the kind that I have is a Maverick. Oh, here's another one. They're big enough that they're making, like they make like airplane sounds, not like drone sounds. They make gliding sounds. Oh, it's so bizarre. I get why everyone's freaking out now. They're definitely not car-sized. That is some odd media spin. Like maybe they're like bike-sized, but I think they're even smaller than that, like tricycle-sized. But yeah, this is really odd that no one knows why they're doing this. If they're being this egregious about it, just flying over the same areas over and over and over again. It probably is something just like the government is mapping New Jersey just to have it. Something super innocuous, but I think it's kind of spooky.